knowledge and awareness around thoughts as well for me. As many of you know who watch this channel, I'm always talking about thoughts and emotions, awareness in space, managing overwhelming thoughts. And that is why I speak so often about stepping out of the mind and into the present moment, because that is what I do constantly throughout the day. There's a recognition that I can recognize how the thoughts within my mind are always going. But the moment I recognize that I am present, I'm in the present moment. The moment you recognize you're present, you are in the present moment. You see, these are the little things I share with my clients. The little things that are important reminders to know how to manage these feelings of anxiety. Understanding more in depth, oh wow, thoughts can feel addicting. The mind can feel like a prison. But at the same time, the mind can be a creative tool. And thoughts can be a plan and a strategy for you to use in this world, to play in the world of form. What's up everyone? My name is Morcie, and if you're new to this channel, I help others step out of the mind and into the present moment. And as you can see, I found a little nifty spot out here in nature, here with my backpack, my notes, hers right here, in this lake, and that airplane flying up above. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be out here in nature. I'm grateful to be here filming this message for you. I'm grateful for the opportunity to release this message, right? The message that my intention is to share with you is how I manage feelings of anxiety. And this came up for a multitude of reasons. One, I've been feeling a lot of feelings of anxiety lately. And I figured this would be a great time to share about it as a form of feeling less anxious, as a form of feeling more present. And also as a way of helping me create this space for myself of vulnerability. You know, one thing I like to share is, you know, posting videos online and sharing so many beautiful messages. Often, you know, on one hand, I love it, and on the other, I feel this pressure, the pressure to always know, you know, within the ego, the pressure to always know, the pressure to be perfect, whatever that looks like, whatever that means. The mind will create what perfect looks like in a certain moment, and then I end up feeling shame or guilt or feeling less than. Feelings of anxiety arise. It stops me from my flow. You know, like down below if any of you relate to that, if any of you have ever experienced something like that. So that's why I'm creating the space in this video to speak about that more. Humanize myself. If you're new to this channel, just know there will be some gaps of space, of silence within my videos. I might start walking and I might stop talking, or I'm looking around, whatever it might be. Be sure to use that time to take in what message I just shared. Use that time to be there with the space. Acknowledge the space, and very naturally that practice will pour into your daily life. Being able to recognize and be aware of the gaps of space within your life because that is the number one way that I help manage my anxiety. No matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, space. The recognition that space around thought makes that thought less significant, and therefore what you're left with is a feeling. I'll say specifically for me, sometimes my heart pounds. It's just pounding. And I remember the other day I felt it pounding. I brought in space around the thought and I let the thought go. All that was left was a pounding heart. So I allowed the heart to pound. It pounded for a bit, but gratitude to the body for taking care and warning me of this fear that I was feeding, this thought that I had, right? When you find a sense of gratitude for the functions that your body does for you so that you could stay in this equal state, right? Homeostasis. Knowledge and awareness around thoughts as well for me. As many of you know who watch this channel, I'm always talking about thoughts and emotions, awareness and space, managing overwhelming thoughts. And that is why I speak so often about stepping out of the mind and into the present moment, because that is what I do constantly throughout the day. There's a recognition that I can recognize how the thoughts within my mind are always going. But the moment I recognize that I am present, I'm in the present moment. The moment you recognize you're present, you are in the present moment. You see, these are the little things I share with my clients. The little things that are important reminders to know how to manage these feelings of anxiety. Understanding more in depth, oh wow, thoughts can feel addicting. The mind can feel like a prison. But at the same time, the mind can be a creative tool. And thoughts can be a plan and a strategy for you to use in this world, to play in the world of form. Another thing I do to manage any feelings of anxiety is come out here in nature. It's pretty obvious, huh? My whole channel is like shaped around nature. Nature. One thing I notice is just being around the animals and the trees and the lake is nature's. There we go. Nature's ability. Nature has no resistance. There we go. This is what I want to say. There's no resistance when you're out in nature. You notice and you look around like there's no structure. It's kind of doing what it feels like it's doing. The trees lean here and there, twigs here and there, they drop where they need. Yeah, nature somehow is so beautiful throughout the chaos, right? Coming into nature reminds you not to resist. And so when I come out here, I don't resist any feelings of anxiety. I actually don't feel many feelings. If they come, they go very quickly. It's like a tool. I come out here and I learn and I receive the wisdom of Mother Nature, and I go back home and I do my thing. Going for a walk is an amazing way to get out of the mind and into the present moment, feeling the ground beneath your feet, listening to the birds tweeting. I mean, even the people talking, socializing and even helping others. You know, we need something different in every moment. Maybe socializing isn't something you need when you have feelings of anxiety, you know? Maybe helping others isn't what you need. It all depends on your state of being in that moment. It all depends on your life situation in that moment and your relationship with your life situation in that moment. These are just the very, few things. Helping others, right? What I notice is so beautiful about helping others, because specifically I mentioned before, I have clients, I do life coaching, and one of the beauties about life coaching is the accountability factor that's in it. You can come and watch my videos all day, or you can read, or you can, surround yourself with certain bits of knowledge to help. But sometimes the biggest factor is accountability and consistency with strategies, right? Like bringing in space, like inviting space, like becoming aware of the mind and thoughts, becoming aware of your tendencies, your behaviors and habits, and being consistent with that daily. Consistency is another way that I manage my anxiety, my feelings of anxiety. So even if, you may not coach with me, you may coach with someone else, hey, I am open. I would love to work with you. So if you want to, check out my application down below. But in all honesty, that's the beauty, right, of coaching. It's that consistency and accountability. And if within your life, consistency and accountability, each and every time that feeling of anxiety arises, be aware of it and be there with it. Place space around it, around the thought and the emotion, right? You may notice if you watch my videos a lot, I may say the same things often, because that is what you must do often. You should do it more than how the amount of times you've heard me say it. And that's when you will recognize your reality shifting, stepping into the present moment, and releasing, letting go, surrender in those moments when you need surrender. Another way that I manage feelings of anxiety is action, is doing. Let me tell you, for me, whenever I experience not just feelings of anxiety, but feelings of depression, thoughts of that, it's because I spent absolutely too much time alone with thought. I needed to take action. I needed to get out of my mind and use my hands, or use the mind for something with a purpose, something with a direction, with a foundation, not just some thought that came through my mind, not just some fear. Action. Whoa, do you see this? Me slipping over here? Ugh. Action, taking action. This is why, after moments of when we have maybe a breakup in your life or just this huge transition in your life, you might find yourself getting into new hobbies. You might find yourself changing the way you look. All of those things you naturally do to get out of the mind, and they are helpful. I would say the difference between stepping out of the mind and into the present moment and suppressing these thoughts and emotions, right? Because I know that might be a question you have, right? Can't that turn into suppression of thoughts and emotions? It's only suppression when there's no awareness behind it. When you're doing it to cover up. You're not doing it with acceptance and allowance. That's the key. Because there you are at a vantage point where you could see more than one perspective. So you won't feel a need to cover up, but the willingness to feel that emotion. The willingness to observe the thought, watch it fade away, to be there with the emotion and watch it subside. Each and every time it happens. The more you do that, it becomes a habit. It becomes so easy. It was a bug. Hey, listen, I love nature, but the flies, the flies. I'm just kidding. It's not a big deal. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It depends on my state of being. Depends on my state of being, okay? Depends on my level of awareness. Right now I was chill, but if I was in this very irritated state, that bug would have been so annoying. But I'm good now. I'm good. Yeah. Suppression, it might even look like spiritual bypassing, right? I mentioned that in my latest video, right? You feel these feelings of anger, and you're not letting yourself release that. You're not letting yourself scream it out, cry it out, write it out, paint it out. You tell yourself, hey, I'm this spiritual person, whatever that looks like, who never feels angry because love and light always. I joke about that because, you know, that happens to me too. I told you before. The mind gets caught up in this idea of perfect, but the moment you release it, oh man, you're free. You're free. Do check out my guided meditation on observing thoughts and emotions fade away. Because this right here, not right here, that is the fundamental step with that is the fundamental step with managing feelings of anxiety. The reason what happened is I just had a thought of another way that oh yeah, one more too. Be sure to check out that free guided meditation because it is a fundamental to managing anxiety, no matter where you are. Another thing too, last thing that I'd like to share is planning in the present moment. I wrote a video about that. Planning in the present moment. It doesn't mean that you always have to be present. Let's throw that out, okay? We're using the mind. That's why we're here, to use the mind. We all have different types of minds. Each of our minds, they resonate to something different within this world that we live in. And it's important to plan, to strategize. We do that, to use the mind. But one way it helps to reduce feelings of anxiety or have them be there no more is planning, right? Because feelings of anxiety come from fear of the future. But if you plan something out, you have a direct vision of what's to come. And you have that trust in that vision. So now you can let go. There's no fear holding you back. There's nothing that is attaching you, you know, to an illusion that disturbs your focus or disturbs your flow. Make sense? You plan. I want to do this. Plan. All right, this is the plan. You follow the plan. And you enjoy the present moment. You find enjoyment in what you do. You bring awareness to the joy that flows through you. Planning in the present moment, right? The recognition of the beauty in that masculine energy of creation and activity, and also the beauty of sitting back and rest and in awareness, that cycle. My name is Morcie. If you're new to this channel, I help others step out of the mind and into the present moment. Be sure to comment down below, like down below. Let me know if this helped you. And check out my free guided meditation. I'm sending you lots of peace. And remember, live in a state of gratitude.